In this video, I'm going to break down the 3 things you need to deliver absolutely transformational coaching sessions for your clients. And one of the best ways to build a business is to be a damn good coach and transform people's lives. They're going to keep coming back. They're going to rehire you. They're going to tell your friends. And that kind of energy that you have is going to be effective in your marketing. You've got to increase your magnetism. You've got to increase your certainty. You've got to increase your confidence. When that's the sort of energy that you put out with your magnet, people will come running. But if everything is just in your head, like it is for almost everybody, and you don't have the embodied confidence, your business will constantly struggle. So don't keep following the crowd, chasing the things that don't work. Listen to the ingredients that actually make a foundational difference in people's coaching business. That's what I'm going to break down for you in this video as it relates to your transformational capability. Now, if you don't know me, my name is Sean Smith. I've been coaching in this industry for 15 plus years. You can probably tell I'm highly opinionated about it, but it's because we've made millions and millions of dollars. We've seen what works for the people who succeed, and we've seen what people chase all the time that causes them to fail. So in this video and on this channel, I want to bring you the truth about what I've learned in my journey so that you can avoid all the big mistakes that knock most people out of the game, so much so that they never recover. Now make sure you watch all the way to the end just to get the entire conversation, and all 3 of these elements are critical for you to incorporate in various areas of your business, and they'll help improve your life too. In this short video, I'm going to talk about the 3 things that you need to fully embody transformation. The analogy that I want to work with here is, imagine the difference between snorkeling and scuba diving. Snorkeling is above the surface. You've got a little contraption, whatever the thing is called, and it comes out of your mouth, and you've got about that much wiggle room to go underwater. It's only, I don't know, a foot or so. And you can see with your goggles all the things below the water, assuming that the water is clear, but you can't really go deep. And what most of us are doing in life, and I think what most coaching really focuses on, is the surface level changes. What can we change at the behavior observable level? How can we make more money? How can we lose more weight? How can we make these external changes? So basically, we're all snorkeling at the surface of the water of our lives. Transformational coaching is about scuba diving. It's about putting the gear on and going as deep as you want to go. And that's where life is found. That's where the richness of our humanity, in my opinion, is found. It's the depths of ourselves. So if you are a coach and you want to help people make the transformational shifts below the surface, instead of just wrestling with the behavior changes that most people really struggle against because the foundation hasn't shifted, then you have to understand that this kind of transformational work requires and includes embodiment. So the 3 things that you've got to do to fully embody transformational coaching, and I'm not talking about doing transformational coaching, I'm talking about being transformational coaching, becoming the essence of transformation so that you can shift people with your energy, not just with the words that you say, not with techniques. You can shift people with your energy, and then the techniques and the coaching skills and the exercises and all that stuff can be massively increased in terms of their power and their effect and their implementation. But transformation requires an embodiment. So the first thing you got to understand is the difference between information and information. Most of us are seeking information at the intellectual level. We're seeking knowledge. That's what the intellect runs on. But most of us don't have our bodies in formation to do the work. It requires us to be ready. See, most of us are intellectually prepared, but neurologically scared. We don't have the body to do the things that we're trying to do, whether it's staying in a relationship or becoming a public speaker or making money or building a business, whatever it is that we're trying to do. Our bodies have to be prepared for going into that environment. If our heads are intellectually prepared, but our bodies are not, then our knowledge can get us into a room that our bodies cannot keep us in. So the embodiment piece is so critical in human behavior across the board. As a coach, we need to not only understand that we have to help people shift their bodies, but to be the coach that can do that work, we have to be in formation. We have to be neurologically prepared to handle this work, which means we have to go first. We have to be willing to put ourselves under the microscope. We have to be willing to look inside of ourselves so that we can help other people look inside of themselves, because inside of ourselves is where all of the answers are. One of the problems, I think, in personal development of all kinds, and it shows up in coaching, is that we are looking for external solutions to our internal conflicts. We're seeking answers from external means. And then as coaches, we're trying to give our external solutions to people's internal problems. When we understand that humanity and behavior change is really about tapping into the wisdom and resources inside of us and busting through all the protection all around us, then we have to be able to lead people into themselves by first leading ourselves, or not leading ourselves, but allowing ourselves to be led into ourselves. In other words, we have to do the work. We cannot lead people to a place we haven't been. The second thing that is kind of a byproduct of this information versus information is that transformation has to come from saturation. What I mean by that is most people are searching for satisfaction in their mind. I want you to be committed to saturation of the body. Imagine your cells are like a sponge, right? When you saturate your cells at a certain point, they will start to overflow. It's with the overflow that you provide transformation with other people. What so many people are trying to do, and I think what most coaches are trying to do, is they're trying to transform people with just barely damp cells. And if your cells are not saturated, then there will be doubts, there will be fears, there will be uncertainty in your body, and that will transfer to your prospects. Now, I'm not saying that you have to do all of the work that's possible to get done before you can coach people. You can serve with the overflow of your saturation on one level while you're still working to go to another level. In other words, you can be in third grade learning third grade material and teaching second graders or first graders or kindergartners behind you. And then you keep going. And once you pass third grade, well, then you can add third grade to the people that you can teach. So it's constantly evolving, but you have to teach from your saturation of the levels that you have basically passed, the lessons that you've learned in your body. See, behavior change is only a fantasy unless it lives in your cells. If the ability to change lives strategically in your brain, but it doesn't live in the saturation of your cells, then you will always have a conflict between what you know and what you be, what you can do, but your unprepared body isn't able to implement the strategies that your mind has, and that creates more confusion than ignorance does. Knowledge without implementation is ignorance. So we got to be focusing on implementation. And what is required for implementation? Embodiment. So instead of seeking intellectual satisfaction, I want you to seek neurological saturation. And then with the overflow, you can help other people transform their lives. The third thing is, if you want to embody transformation, you have to have immersive experiences too. It's like you got to dive into the pool and feel the water around you. When you're outside of the pool, just looking at the water, imagining how it would feel to be in there and to start swimming, you can pretend that you're swimming. You can actually do the moves and pretend that you're swimming out here in the air. That doesn't mean anything. In fact, you can have somebody make sure that your thumbs are going down. I learned how to swim just a little bit because I have two nieces that are phenomenal swimmers. And they taught me one time how you actually have to go thumb down into the water and then I tried it, I was like, whoa, that's awesome. But when they were telling me outside of the water, it didn't make any sense. It was like, that's stupid. Thumb down? Why would I do that? No. This is what's comfortable to me. This is the way that I've always done it. And then we got into the water and I went thumb down and I went, whoa, that's a whole different game right there. And then thumb down. And now every time I swim, and this was like 7 or 8 years ago, every time I swim and get in the water, now I go thumb down, and it's a different experience when you go thumb down, and you can actually use your tricep a little bit better and get more push in the water. You can't learn certain lessons outside of the pool. You can only learn certain lessons in the water. And for most of us, that requires us to be in an immersive, isolated experience. Our society is so hyper distracted. Our society is so overwhelming nowadays. We have a smartphone that I should turn off when I do live events, and everything we need can come to us. What that has caused is a society of convenience-driven humans. I want to get information brought to me. I want everything to be simple. I want an app. I want to just be able to push a couple things and have food delivered to me, have rides come pick me up. We live in a society where technology has caused us to be driven by convenience, and your breakthroughs will never be convenient. So if you want to transform yourself and do the work that needs to be done to liberate yourself, but also from a transformational coaching standpoint, be able to have the body to transform others, that won't happen with convenience. You've got to remove yourself from the environments that are cementing the convenience and do whatever work needs to be done. That's where the immersion is so critical. Most people won't do this. That's why most people will never have the body for transformation. What we need is connection. That's the way to pierce through all of this stuff. We need transformation. We don't need minds informed. We need bodies in form. Now, if you like this video, check out that video where I break down what it actually takes to be a successful transformational coach so that you can attract and acquire clients, but really build a business you feel great about.
I just want you to understand that one of the most important pieces of being a successful coach is your certainty in the product, and you are the product. So you have to have the confidence that you can go out and actually help people.